Hey there, I wanted to say a big thank you to everybody that's watched a Durban mutton curry video. And as a token of my gratitude, I've rustled up a chicken curry inspired by my time in South Africa. It's rustic, it's kind of smacks of family and community, and it's really, really straightforward and simple, but has such a depth of flavour. So I'm going to go into the pan with a cinnamon stick, and then I've got here a couple, well, I'm going to put 3 black cardamom pods. They're lovely, smoky, they're gorgeously scented, they give us a lovely depth of flavour. And then to the party, I'm going to take a couple of star anise as well. So what's the star anise going to do? It's going to give us all of that aniseedy and slightly kind of sweet scent, along with our bay leaves, a couple of bay leaves in there, and then a sprinkle of some fennel seeds. So what's happening in this recipe is we've got loads of layering of spices. You might look at the recipe and think, that's a lot of spices, and there are a number of spices, but the good thing is the pan does all the hard work for you. Now in with that, I want to pop some onions. The onions, man, they are like the bass player in a band. They're the ones that kind of provide all of that foundation that the rest of the band can just kind of jam along to. And you've got to keep cooking them through. Got to cook them until they're gorgeously brown. I'm going to take a little pinch of salt at this point, and it helps our onions cook a bit quicker because salt draws out the moisture. Now, I've got to say, if you like the sound of this curry, Durban chicken curry, then you're going to love some of the other recipes on our channel. Check out some of the other Durban series of curries and recipes as well, inspired by my visit to Durban and meeting chefs and hanging out in Durban for a while. That's kind of the colour that we're looking for. We're wanting that brown, that depth of brown. Just starts to kind of get slightly caramelised around the edges. That's where all the flavour comes from. Okay, now, no Durban curry is complete without our curry leaves. So these are fresh curry leaves. I'm going to just take like 2 or 3 sprigs. Fresh is best. You can use some dried ones. Rehydrate them in a little bit of water, but I would say where you can, get fresh curry leaves. So into the party goes some ginger and garlic paste. Now it's time for our masala mix. The thing about these curries is they're layered with a mix of whole and ground spices. So we got some garam masala, fragrant coriander powder, some cumin, touch of turmeric, and then this is a special blend, and this blend you'll find all of the ingredients in the recipe card. But you know, most Durban families, Indian Durban families, they all testify to having their own unique blend. You'll find mine in the recipe card below. I'm not that precious, I just want the world to enjoy good flavours. So now to that, I'm just going to create a little paste. Some people put the chicken or their meat in and then add the ground spices, but I like to try and create a little bit of a paste, and the reason I like doing it this way is because I think then they kind of just get into all of the chicken crevices, and I'm using chicken thighs. And there's a reason I'm using chicken thighs. It's because they possess so much flavour because they're on the bone. And also, you know, it gives us all of those kind of little nooks and crevices that you only really find in cuts like this. You know, there's a time and a place for chicken breast. This is not one of them. This is where we add now just some water to the pan. I'm going to take up the heat just to get it to a boil, and then we're going to turn everything down. We're going to just turn down the volume and just let that cook for about 20 minutes or so until the gravy starts to thicken up a little bit. Then we go in with our tomatoes. Oh yeah, that's what we want. See, what I can see now is I can start to see, like, on the surface here, just around the edges, little pools of the spice oil. And that is where I know that the spices are breaking down and our dish is doing well. This is about ready now for our tomatoes. Now, look, you can blanch, skin, chop, pulp tomatoes if you've got the time. If you want to do that, great. But I'm also up for hacks, so I'm just going to use some pureed tomato. That goes in, because it's still got to cook for a little bit longer. It's now time to add some potatoes. These are our gravy soakers, that's right, because they're fabulous when they cook in this sauce, and they just give us that added kind of dimension. So our Durban chicken curry with our super soakers has been cooking, and that is exactly what we are hoping for. Our potatoes, gorgeously crumbly, all of that flavour soaked into the edges. That, alongside our chicken, let's just try a bit of our chicken, which is just falling off the bone. That is amazing. My friends, if you've never tried a Durban chicken curry with potatoes, you're not living. If you are, however, in Durban and you're eating this stuff, big praise, because you guys know how to make one heck of a curry. That is absolutely stonking.